time there. I like the way they did the city. See the colors. See Japan. They cost of living is when you talk about buying food, you know, and you get to a place and then you find more than what they wanted to eat because with a lot of strawberries on it and just the cake, and there was really hardly anything in my body. So that's now there was amazing. Life is amazing. I keep saying this. I'm telling you guys, life is amazing. Hit the streets and do it if you were into. But my wife and I, we would never say that to Japanese. Of course, we get that. The average income varies depending on the composition and age. Now, let me go ahead and translate that into dollars because 56 by the end of the year. And they're saying that next year, by the end of March, the average, here you go, guys. So the average $38. That's what it takes to live in Tokyo. Was I not lying? And I just checked this so that. And I don't keep 20,000 in a household, which is $33,000. That's what it was the other day. I remember when I checked it. Swampland before everything started growing. And Tokyo had a lot of rivers back in the day. There's a lot of these beautiful cities in business. They have 2 beautiful kids that they head started on some things. She's going to preschool right now. How we interact with each other, there's no disrespect. I tell you guys, when you treating your son bad too, and what you don't be good. And she's cute, and she got a nice rump, and she got a rag. So those are nice. They got the nice little homes right there. I didn't want to get mad at this girl because, you know, I just got and her daughter. I mean, when, not if. Fuck it. At the airport, and he signed the letter of guarantee. Copy right away. I was able to print the copy out. So what's up, everybody? This is BSP. I'm here in Kashiwazaki today. So I'm going to tell you guys about this city here I'm in. This is also, I am also going to be talking about the cost of living, like how you can live in Japan. I know I did one in Tsukuba the other day, a few weeks ago, but I kind of want to talk more about that today. I did a video in Kashiwazaki a couple years ago, and I deleted the video off my channel. It wasn't getting a lot of love, and I didn't think people were interested in that, but so I've decided to do it again because I think you were going to be more interested now than you would have been before. So what I did is I parked over here at the at a place called Ekimai Koen. Ekimai, you'll see that name a lot in Japan. Ekimai this, Ekimai that, and Ekimai basically means in front of the station part, or in front of the station. Okay, so let's wait for this light. Oh, I gotta push the button. Right, I forgot the last time I was here. I didn't push the button. This is a theater right here, performance arts, where you can kind of come in, and they'll have shows and whatnot here in Kashiwazaki. And this Ekimai Park is a really beautiful place here. I really like this park because it's kind of cute, kind of quaint little park that I like. We do have Westerners living up in here too, so you won't be a stranger in Kashiwazaki. This Kashiwazaki is right next to our city of Joetsu. So I drove up here today. I just kind of, you know, I stopped. These guys seen I stopped over in Ogata Mizutomori Park, and I kind of wanted to get that, show you guys what was up with that. And then I decided to stop over here at Kashiwazaki today because there's so many nice things to talk about when you mention this Kashiwazaki. It is a beautiful little town. I really like it. Like I said, I came here the first time a couple years ago, and I just like to get away and explore, and this is one of those moments. And so this is another moment now. I wanted to come up here particularly today because the weather is really nice, as you can tell. Out, it's a little cool. Got a breeze going. I got my shirt on and whatnot. But give me a second. I'm gonna try to move into my mic as well too. I got my mic on me. I just forgot. I have my mic. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm good. So now you can probably hear me better because I went ahead and put my mic on without the wind and background noise. Like I said, this is a theater of performing arts right here. And then right next to this, they got this laid out pretty nice, guys, by the way. Everything is around here and the station's over there. And then on the other side of all this, on Highway 8, there are like a lot of shopping, and there's a Starbucks over there and whatnot if you want something familiar. There's a lot of restaurants over that way too. A lot of like, like family restaurants or like national chain restaurants or like bookstores or whatever. I mean, right on like all the other side of all of that. So they got that. I usually park over there, but the last time we were here, I found out, oh shit, I can park at the park and just kind of walk around the city and I'm good. Because it's such a small place. There's a town of 80,000 people. And they said in 2020 there was 81,000. So I'm assuming right now it's probably about 78,000 people living in Kashiwazaki. Now, let's talk about this is why I'm recommending a city this size or like this, because there's a lot of cities like this in Japan. You see this is a apartment building right here, and then you'll see, like, if you look over this way, you'll see some over there, and you'll see a lot of places to live in Japan. One thing I can say is, you know how in the States you have a job, but you'll see people, they got a job, but they're living in their cars, or because they're homeless. That's what it is. You're homeless. You live in the car, but you're homeless. And you'll see them living in their cars because they can't even afford to rent a simple place. They can't even afford to rent a place. So they have to live in their cars. Well, in Japan, when you have income, you can live. You will not be homeless with income in Japan. And that's one thing I can say. You will not be homeless and you will not go hungry in Japan. So the life here is simple. It's inexpensive. You can live in an apartment like that, and like the one I just pointed to behind me, depending on where you're at. I know in Kashiwazaki City, you can probably rent those places like $400 a month. And I get you a nice 2-bedroom apartment. It won't cost you that much. And right here, I am walking on the grounds of the city office. I want you guys to check out the city office. It's beautiful. It's a modern city office. Kashiwazaki is known for having the Genpatsu. Genpatsu is a nuclear power plant, which is inactive right now. They shut it down after the Fukushima incident. So Japan just panicked and shut all the reactors down. But they're now talking about wanting to restart it, and they just got a report that it's only 30% ready. So they have to, and they said the reason why it's 30% because they have to train people. So it's 60% not ready is what the report came out. Literally, if I translate it directly, and 30% ready. So they still need to get them numbers up. And knowing our governor of Niigata, because that's his call, he's gonna have to sign off on that. He wants to 100%. So they got a lot of work to do. So anyway, I wanted to tell you, show you, this is Kashiwazaki City Office. As you see, it's a really nice, modern city office. I think it was built like about less than 5 years ago. It's beautiful, man. I was walking around and I was like, oh man, what's this place? And I didn't realize, and I looked, I said, damn, this is the city office. It's a really nice little spot. It's about right now, I think it's about 1:30 in the afternoon. Let me look at my phone here. Oh, whoa, it's almost 2. It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is probably about the same time I was here last time when I did that video a couple years ago that I really wanted to show everybody. And I don't think I can walk in here on camera. Let me see. I've never walked in here before. I don't think so, because I think they got people waiting and I don't want to videotape anybody in here. Oh, so that door's locked. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. But anyway, good thing, because I don't want to walk in there with my camera. So anyway, this is the city office. You see, you can kind of walk up on this part right here as you're walking outside. I like the way they got it set up. They set it up really nice. Our city office in Joetsu City is a pretty plain ferro concrete building. But this one they got a lot more glass, a lot more things to see, the way they do it. I like the way they did. Oh, they got a little store right here. Huh. That's interesting. Got a little gift shop inside the city office. I'm not going to go in though, but it is a nice looking place. Because I think when you walk in, as soon as you walk in, Let me see. Let me see what maybe I can walk in this park. I don't see anybody here. I just wanted to see what it looked like inside. So this is inside of the Kashiwazaki City office, guys. And you can see this place is nice. I like these nice, fresh, clean looking design places. It reminds me a little bit of the video I did, the one in Kanazawa, the library. And like I said, I'm not gonna go too far around here. But you can see they have like stuff. So you see it in Japanese and English, information, civic service sections, different things like that. You come here, the city office or ward office, it depends on the size of the city. You go there for everything. All your records, your health records, everything you set up, you go and get it started at the city office. And that is a gift shop over there too. So I won't go inside the gift shop. I won't go in that section because it looks like that's where they really try to help people at. Just want to kind of just see you guys to see what it looks like from here. And see, you got everybody waiting there to take care of you. So, but this place is amazing, guys. It's an amazing place here. It's beautiful. It's beautiful here. I'm just taking a couple shots here. I'm going to walk in, then walk back out, because I don't want to embarrass myself. There's places where people can do some research. Like information on Kashiwazaki right here, if you want to check it out. So, and there's a nice little place you can kind of chill up at the top. So, yeah, this is the city office, guys. So, right here you have some Kashiwazaki, like your whole corner. So, that's what you want. I just come in, I just take pictures. I'm gonna go back outside now. So get out in the street so I can kind of talk normal instead of whispering right now. So now that I come outside the city office, I'm going to take you to the station. So my walk is basically, I started at the park and I'm coming through the city office and there's the Kashiwazaki station right there. I'm going to go walk over that way, walk down the Shotengai and head back down toward the park, past the city office again toward the park. That's my Kashiwazaki walk every time I come into the city. So like I said, if I turn around more, like I said, you can see it's a really nice looking city office, guys. Really nice looking city office. That is a good place to work for people. I know people enjoy coming there. And you gotta enjoy the place where you're gonna go. You're gonna spend a lot of your time there. I like the way they did the city. See the colors. See Japan, they do things right. You got the colors up in the air and the Kashiwazaki City Hall and that kind of thing. And as you can see once again what it looks like. It's like you get a wider, better angle of it. It's a really nice setup, guys. Really nice setup. I want to cross the street before I lose the light. Actually, I don't have to cross the street because I can go this way from the station. So, yeah, so the cost of living here. So, like I said, those apartments that I showed you in this kind of city, you can get by, man, with $400 a month. You got a 2-bedroom apartment. It's not going to be big, but it's not going to be small because you're outside of the big Tokyo area. See? And then the cost of living is when you talk about buying food, paying for gas, electricity is pretty good. Your utilities, your electricity is going to be a little bit higher. Like I said, because they don't use the nuclear power plants. But I mean, even if they did start that one up, it's not going to be coming to Niigata anyway. It's going to be going to Tokyo, because that's the TEPCO, Tokyo Electric Power, runs that nuclear power plant for Tokyo. Oh, they just tore this building down. There was a building here last year when I was filming, and they're tearing it down. Oh, doing some tear down work. Wow. So, yeah, so this kind of city, I mean, you can live here. It's a really nice place. And one thing I won't show today on the video, I drove up and I came up that way through the beaches. They have some nice seaside parks and beaches here in Kashiwazaki, right on the water, right on the Sea of Japan. which is nice. And then one thing Kashiwazaki does have is a lot of nice parks. I did notice that on the way up. They have a lot of parks in Kashiwazaki within walking distance, which is cool. So people don't think about Kashiwazaki much, but Kashiwazaki is a nice goddamn place, man. It really is. It looks like they're doing some major work over there. Take a picture of that because I don't usually see people. I mean, I did do a film of them tearing down the old house. My father-in-law's old house on our property, which actually ended up being our house because we had owned the property before they tore it down. But now I'm seeing this. Now here I am up at the Kashiwazaki station, and I could take the train from Kashiwazaki to home if I wanted to. So that's another option for me. Hello. Hello guys. Hello. So guys are pretty friendly up here in Kashiwazaki. Like I said, I'm gonna walk down there soon. I just wanted you to see a little bit more of that teardown. I'm gonna build something new there. So, get ready to walk up to the station. I'm gonna go in the station for a minute, so you guys can check it out. So, like I said, man, around here, you can live in this city for $1,000 a month, and you got all the. Look at the beautiful hills over there. You can't see it maybe from the camera angle, but the hills are turning like beautiful colors, man, this time of year. Reds, golds, you know, it's turning a really beautiful color. This part right here, this is the one you take, you want to walk down under and go all the way across to the highway I was telling you about, Highway 8, and there you'll run into a lot of restaurants and cafes and stuff like that. So I'm not going to go there today, but that's where that would take you, under there. And then right here we have the Koban right here. You know, we always have a Koban by the station. So if you get away, if anybody got any questions to ask, they get lost, they can go up to the Koban. The kids get lost, they go to the Koban, and then they'll contact the parents. That's how it works, man. Ain't like the States. My wife said she was in Seattle, and she asked the policeman directions, and he said, I don't know, it's not my route. And my daddy, who was a cop who actually ran a precinct, said that's bullshit. He said cops are supposed to know their whole beat, so you don't know what the deal was with that. So, but as you can look down here, you can see a map of Kashiwazaki, how it's surrounded by the mountains and the water and everything, and has a lot of parks in the city. That's Kashiwazaki right there. And then over there, of course, at the top is Georgia City, where I live, and of course that's a bigger space. But yeah, this is it. I drove up through this highway here. I came up along the coast, and when I go back home, I may use the Koso Gudo, which is the freeway, or I may just go back down that way depending on how late I am up here. I'm actually going to take a picture of that because I'll put this picture up on my Instagram account so you guys can kind of see what I saw here in Kashiwazaki. So this is Kashiwazaki Station. And I'm going to put my mask on as I'm going in here. So I'm coughing a little bit. And in Japan, you got to be considerate of others. I don't want to make anybody else get sick. This is a bigger map of the Kashiwazaki Station area. So like you see, I'm right here. And the park is over here. And there's a city office right there. See, so you can actually walk to the seaside parks down here too. Cause the water's right here. Kashiwazaki Port, and they got park. See, they got park, green all over the place. So it's Kashiwazaki. It's a really nice place, man. So as I walk in here in the station area, so this is, they got the waiting room. Now, what you'll find is these small stations, like where we live here, they all have the waiting room areas. So they got this right here, and then if you want to buy tickets, you go over here and you buy the ticket. There's a ticket agency right in there, the ticket office. Of course, you'll catch the train out here. So it's pretty simple. This one uses Suica, but Takata Station does not use a Suica, which is pretty interesting. So they don't use a Suica at all, you know. So I'm gonna go back out here. Like I said, it's getting windy now. I'm gonna go here and cross the street and take you guys down to the Shotengai, which means a shopping street. district. So you guys can see that. But just like I said, just imagine you're living in a city like this size. You're living very good. You don't have to make as much money. So I'm assuming pretty much any American that's going to move overseas is going to be securing some income of at least $2,000, $2,500 a month. That's if there's Social Security or if they figured out a way to get some income and they got kids. At least that kind of money. You're going to live very comfortable, especially in a town like this. Yeah, a lot of people want to go to the Tokyos and they want to experience the glamour life and whatnot, but Tokyo's expensive, buddy. Tokyo's expensive. Like, we were watching a TV program and there was a closet-sized apartment. It was like a 1K. 1K means like the room and the kitchen are in the same room. So your kitchen it's a studio. And that thing was probably about, if they're lucky, 200 square foot. They wanted, what was it? It was high, man. It was like about $1,500 a month. $1,500 a month, guys, for that place. It was crazy, $1,500 a month. So you $1,500 a month here, you get something nice. But I really don't think they have anything here that expensive. You know? So that's what I'm saying. So like I said, you walk down, it's very peaceful, safe, it's clean. You know, it's relaxing, guys. It's just relaxing, just walking around the street here in Kashiwazaki. And this is the same kind of atmosphere I get in Georgia City too. Like I said, this is a smaller city than my city. We are about 3 times the size, or no, 2.5 times the size of the city, population wise. So it's a difference there, but still, I get to come up here and chill. Button up my shirt a little bit. It's kind of surprising that it's really kind of cool out here today. I thought it was going to be, well, it's starting to cool down, so I know in another hour it's going to be cool. I'll be done in an hour, but I'll take. You guys see me? I'm taking pictures of these manhole covers because I love manhole covers. They have some really nice manhole covers in Japan. So this is what we call the Shoten guy. You can always tell a Shoten guy. Most cities in Japan have them. Market streets, they're kind of off the station. And where we live in Niigata City, Niigata Prefecture, a lot of our cities will be covered, like covered sidewalks, because especially the ones that get a lot of snow, like here, Kashiwazaki gets a lot of snow. Georgia City gets a lot of snow. Of course, we get more snow than Kashiwazaki. We get the most snow. Well, Yuzawa gets a lot of snow too. They actually get more than us. But still, for a big city, we get a lot of snow. Or the size of the city that we are. So you'll see our city will have a lot of these covered walkways too. Nice as I covered my shirt up. Oh, that's a nice little coffee shop. So I cover my shirt up, I get feel a little bit warmer. Huh. The coffee shop look pretty interesting. I'm checking out one of these times I'm down here. They do on this street here. They have and it's always closed when I go by, but they have a big. Oh no, it wasn't closed. I'm sorry. They have a big coffee bean place. Here, I mean, it's big, man. It looks like a distributor's place. I'll show it to you guys here as I walk down. It's down the street. Look how peaceful this place is. So we don't have this, we don't have the problems here, guys. Like I said, there's another place over there, another apartment building. Now that one over there, it looks more like a danshi. And what I mean by danshi is it's a project. So let's say you get to live in Japan and your wife, you're married to a Japanese woman and you have 3 or 4 kids and you can't afford to move into a regular apartment. Well, you can then put your name on the list for a danshi, which is a project. And it's not the most luxurious place to live in, but it's a place. You're not homeless. Your kids got a place to lay their head and everything like that. So, like I said, you don't have to worry about that. There's And most cities in Japan, they're going to take care of you. They're going to give you money for your kids too, every 4 months. So they calculate it out by month. It's like, for example, if you got 2 kids over 3, they're going to give each one of your children, I think it's 10. My city is 10,000 yen a month. So that means that every 4 months, that's 80,000 yen check that they just slap into your bank account because you have kids. See? And we thought, because we're getting that, we thought, well, you know, our kids weren't born in Japan, so we wasn't expecting that. But when we went to the city office, like I said, you have to register. The city office will tell you everything. And the city office told us, it said, no, you qualify because you have children. They don't have to be born here, because we want to make sure our kids are taken care of, and they really care about the kiddies, guys. They really care about the kiddies. So that's why healthcare is free for the kids. Like I said, they have all kinds of activities for the children. Japan is a child-friendly country. Let's put it this way. So like I said, you don't have to be paying all this money for all this bullshit. Like in the States, man, you go somewhere and it's a kiddie event, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna walk in and take my kids there. You plan for it. You expect them to go in and at least have enough money left over to take the kids somewhere nice to eat for lunch. And then you have that certain amount of budget in your head for a lunch meal, and you get to a place and then you find out that you got to pay to get into this place, and there's other fees on top of parking and other bullshit. You turn around, you factor it all in, you ain't gonna have much money left to eat lunch. That's bullshit, because of the selfish bastards that they are. You know what I'm saying? So they don't care. They just, well, yeah, write the check. Somebody else got it. But see, that's just not good for the children. So, you know, in Japan, you don't have to worry about that, man. You come over here, you go, trust me, guys, many times I've been out to places and I thought I was going to have to pay for this and pay for that because I just forgot or whatever. And I come to find out, oh, no, what? Oh, I got to pay for that. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you end up getting the kids end up eating more than what they wanted to eat because you ain't had to pay for this. You ain't had to pay for this or pay for that. See? So that's how it works, guys. That's how it works here. You can live a very comfortable life in Japan. I'm telling you, you can live a very comfortable life here. It behooves you. If you are married to a Japanese woman, get out of the matrix and get over here. Just do it. Get out of the matrix and get to Japan. If you are married to a Japanese woman, you will live nice. Trust me, you will be happy. Yeah, you can be in the West, and you can be making a shitload of money. Well, so you think. But aren't you noticing that every year your money is worth less? So you could be making $140,000 a year in the U.S., but each and every year, next year that 140 is going to feel like 100. The year that 140 is going to feel like 180. Feel like 80. And after that, it's going to feel like 70. Then it's going to feel like 65. Before you turn your head, oh shit! I said I was going to go to this place next time. See, this is I don't know. Oh, they got pastries in there too. Oh, this is 40 types of tea. Wow. A healthy lunch and British cakes are available. We spare no effort and carefully handcraft. Oh my God. And they're open right now. Guys, I'm going to have to shut this down for a minute because I really want to come here and eat this place. I wanted to try it before, and then I will get back to you guys after I get down. This is BSP. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to be here at the Tea Ensemble Tea Room and Cake Gift Shop. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. So guys, here I am at the tea house that I walked into. We're going to have an apple pie and some nice tea. They have so many different teas here. They also have an afternoon tea set. I don't have time for that, but it's kind of what I wanted you guys to see what I was getting ready to delve into. And as you can see, the atmosphere here is really nice, guys, inside. See? You can see how it looks in here. It's just like a regular place. But when you get inside, man, this place is really nice. So guys, I'm back. And I hope you enjoyed the little 30-second video I had while I was eating in there. I had tea and apple pie. I haven't had apple pie in I don't know how long when. I don't usually eat apple pie. But it was very good. It was very light. Make sure I got my mic. It was very good. It was very light. A lot of things in Japan, which you'll notice, is when you look at the menu and you see them on the menu, they may look really sweet, but when you eat them, you'll find out that it's very light. This taste is light and it's not sugary like it is in the U.S. They just pack your shit in the States with sugar, man. There's fucking sugar all over the fucking place. But here, they really know how to make it well. They don't just, pack it like for example, when you see cakes and whatnot, like birthday cakes, right? So you'll see they'll have like a cream looking look. And in the States, all that cream is all sugar, man. But over here, it's whipped. It's actually whipped cream. And it's less sugar, whipped cream. It's really good. We ordered my daughter as we always do, we order our birthday cakes for special events, birthdays, Christmas cakes and whatnot. So my wife already ordered a chocolate Christmas cake coming next month. But we ordered my daughter's birthday cake last month because October's her birthday. And it was a vanilla strawberry kind of. And it was like all the whipped cream was all just literally just that whip. So it was mostly like that light whip with a lot of strawberries on it and just the cake. And it was really light and good. I mean, even a person that's worried about the sugar intake would enjoy it. It's like, oh shit, this is not putting hardly anything in my body. So that's what I love about Japan, man. They don't inundate you with a lot of bullshit, Like I remember when I used to make cakes back in the day, man. I'd go to the store and I'd make the cake. I baked the cake, and then in America, and then I'd go. This is years ago. I hadn't done this shit in like probably 30 years. But I'd go and I'd get that, I forgot who the name of the baker lady was, a big company, but they sold the frosting in a little plastic bin, and it was all like mostly sugar, but it's like different, like strawberry or vanilla or whatever, and it was all, fake shit, and it tasted good because that's all you knew. You didn't know anything else. But I tell you, man, after a while, you're like, whoa, what the hell is this? So I'm spoiled in the States. So now I can't eat U.S. cakes anymore because I'd fall out. I literally would fall out from eating all that sugar. So when I'm in the States, if anybody's going to offer me a birthday cake, I'll pass. Thank you. And also, too, after living in Japan for a few years, what you're going to notice is when you go back to the States, your stomach shrinks. Yes, in Japan, your stomach will shrink. So, I can't eat the portions that I used to be able to eat in the States anymore. I really can't. I mean, I remember when I was give you an example. When I was stationed in Okinawa. Well, here, by the way, I just want to cut to. Here's that coffee shop I was telling you about. Look at this it's a big coffee place here. Yeah, Fresh Your Coffee. #1. This is like the big time coffee bean spot right here. And I got a lot of coffee in my house right now. I need to buy anything right now. But look at this, guys. I think the next time I come up here, I'm going to come here and get my coffee. Look at this place. Look at this. So, but yeah, I remember when I was stationed in Okinawa. And I think I got to go upstairs. And I went back to the States on vacation, and not stationed in Okinawa. Actually, when I was teaching English, this is the last memory I have. I was living in Osaka at the time, and I went back to the States, man, on vacation, and I was in Hawaii, and they gave me this big ass portion, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not gonna eat this. So I only ate like a quarter of it, man, and I was done. And I was like, it's too much, and it was, man. I mean, my stomach had shrunk because of the portions in Japan. Now I do want to say on that is that the portions have gotten bigger since then. Not much bigger, but they're bigger than they used to be in Japan. Than I remember when I was, especially Okinawa, and I lived in Osaka. The portions are bigger. You get a sensible amount of food. Before it wasn't even sensible. Before it was like, ooh, this is not much, but you ate it, and then your stomach got used to it, and then before you know it, you're like, oh, yeah, this is a lot of food. When it really wasn't, but it was a lot. By the way, I love this little crossing right here, man. This little small urban town crossing. It's just so cool. I love it, man. And you can see, like I said, it's so peaceful. If you walk down that way, you'll be at the beach. You keep going down. I'm not going to go to the beach, especially the way I'm dressed now, because that wind be kicking off there, man, and I can feel it now, and it's starting to cool down, guys. Starting to cool down, I can tell. It was more than likely, yes, I know it's after 3 now, so everybody's still at work. That's why it's so empty right now, because one time we were here, the first time I actually brought my family here, and they had a big festival on this street right here. They had it all closed off, and there was shops and everything on there, all kind of people out there that's celebrating. There's a festival. It was pretty nice, man. We were like all looking for bathrooms and everything like that, which when you live in Japan, you don't have to worry about finding any restrooms. You turn your head, there's a restroom. Most of the convenience stores will have restrooms you can use, and you can literally walk into a convenience store and just use the restroom and walk back out. Now, there was, out of all the convenience stores I've been to, we were at one place, and the guy wanted my wife to buy something, and she did. Because that was the first time that I heard of that at the time. So good. I think it was somewhere in Niigata when the guy was like, oh yeah, you came in here, I want you to buy something first, or buy something after you use the restroom, or whatever the case may be. So she did. She got a drink or whatever. But yeah, I thought that was kind of like interesting because I'd never heard of that before. But most places around here, you get in, you use the bathroom, and you're good. Like I'm walking right now, and I can already, from my experience, I can tell you that there's about 3 or 4 bathrooms within walking distance of me, within the 5-minute walk, if you really have to go. You know, you'll notice too, man. As you get older, you drink a lot of liquids. You're gonna want to visit that bathroom more. So that's why you gotta kind of pace yourself. And even when you're on the Kosoku-do, on the freeway, when you're driving around, and if you have, excuse me, use the restroom, you'll see a sign pop up. There's an SA, service area. Oh, bam, there's a parking area. Boom, there's a bathroom right there. And even on the off freeway streets, you'll be driving, and then there'll be boom. Like I was coming up here today, and there was one. Of course, I used the restroom like right before I got to the park. I had to use the restroom. There was on the way up to the park, Ogata Mizuto Morikoen. There was a place, and I said, oh shit, I can use the park, use the restroom right here. Now, this lady just told me that there's a place in Kashiwazaki that has some really beautiful colors around here. I forgot what she said. She said something to me. I don't know if I'll get a chance to look at that today, because I live here, man. I can always see the koyos, the colors, but the colors are so beautiful. I'm telling you. This is a beautiful place, guys. This is amazing. Life is amazing. I keep saying this. I'm telling you guys, life is amazing here in Japan. It's amazing. Like I keep telling people, yes, I own a big home here that I have built, and I own land. But look, oh yeah, speaking of land, look, this land is for sale. This lot right here is for sale. You could buy this size lot in this part of Kashiwazaki. I would say you can get the whole lot for about less than $20,000. Bam. And then you build a house right on this lot. You know what I'm saying? You take up the whole lot. And you're good. You see what I'm saying? So, but me, I told my wife the other day too, I said, you know, if I just had an apartment, if I was just renting an apartment and didn't have a house, I'd still be just as happy as I am now. Because I'm living in Japan. I don't have to worry about anything. I can go out and hit the streets and do this, do that, and do that, the other, and not worry about anything. See? But guys, I'm going to tell you a little story. I know I was meant to be in Japan, man, because you ain't gonna believe this, but my grandmother turned me on. I first fell in love with Japan at 6 years old when I was watching Ultraman. I fell in love with the lady on Ultraman. Her name was Fuji, and found out the actor's name was Hiroko, same name as my wife, ironically. And but yeah, I fell in love with that lady, and I thought, oh, these are cute little ladies in Japan. But check it out. When I was living with my grandmother lived in Philadelphia on Tioga Street. And right behind Tioga Street was none other than Rising Sun Avenue. And I always heard of Rising Sun. I was like, oh, this is Rising Sun. What's this Rising Sun? Rising Sun Avenue was right there. I walked on Rising Sun Avenue a lot. And when we were looking at this video in Philadelphia the other day, because my wife, and she wants to go to Philly to check out the historical district the year after next, which we'll probably end up doing. And in fact, that'll probably be my last time in the States checking that out. And if I can get out to Dodger Stadium, and then I'm done with the U.S. I'll never go back again. But anyway, so we started looking at it, and there was this guy driving around North Philadelphia where I used to live, and he was on Rising Sun Avenue. I said, wait a minute, Rising Sun Avenue, I used to live right around Rising Sun Avenue in Manana. And Rising Sun was Japan, the land of the rising sun. And my birthday happens to be on the same day as Japan National Day. I mean, there's so many coincidences. And you keep in mind, if you were into the soul quantics and whatnot, there is no such thing as a coincidence, guys. I am supposed to be here in Japan. And my mother's psychic a few years ago told my mother, see, look, she told my mother, oh wait, I thought that was something else. She told my mother that when I was living in Seattle back in 05, she said, what's he doing in Seattle? He's supposed to be in Japan. That's what she told me. And she was right. And I was supposed to be in Japan. I didn't know how I was going to get to Japan at the time, but I was supposed to be in Japan. And I remember too, because I had applied for a job to teach English at this school I used to teach at. And they turned me down. And good thing they did, because the next year they went bankrupt. So I would have been stuck in Japan with no job. See, because my wife, she was in college and she got a job that she accepted. And so my plan was to meet her over in Japan. And then when I found that I wasn't going to move to Japan, she told her job, hey, I'm sorry, I'm getting married. And she turned the job down and she came home, came to marry me. So she turned down her career for me. So I always appreciate that. Now, I am going to tell you guys about one little thing here that I think I'll tell you this later. I think I'll tell you when I get home. I'm going to do a live video. There's some info that came out, man, in Japan that is pretty big right now, and I'm not going to mention it here because I'm talking about living in a city like this and whatnot. So yeah, guys, so another thing I noticed too is when we go grocery shopping, I don't usually go grocery shopping with my wife. My wife does all the grocery shopping, but once in a while, I'll go with her if I'm up to it. And so I remember being there sometimes with her, and she getting a lot of stuff, man. We get a lot of stuff because we got 2 kids. And we buying like fruit and stuff. And fruit's not cheap in Japan. And when the bill comes, I'm like, oh shit. In my mind, I'm like, damn, is that it? But my wife and I, we will never say that to Japanese. We never say, oh, that's cheap, because it's not cheap. Because the average Japanese can't really say that. Now, here's what I'm about ready to tell you, and I think that you need to understand this. I'm going to make this clear. I still got some time before I get back to the park, so I can tell you about this. In fact, I think I'm going to go straight. I would not normally go straight, but I would go by the city office, but I think I'm going to go... No, I'll go this way, because then I can always end up that way, because I do like this walk down here. So, I did some checking again, because you know me and the numbers. I'm always checking my numbers. And I checked on the average household income in Japan. And the average household income in Japan, they said, is roughly around 6 million yen a year. Let me look at my phone again. I think I still have it up on this site. If I didn't erase it. If I look at all my tabs here. The average Japan national income, that's in the bracket. Second here. I remember it. The average income in Japan is around, household income is around 6 million yen a year. And give me 1 second as I'm going to look this up again. I want to make sure that you guys get the right information. Now, I do remember this one. There's a lot of people, they said, in Japan that work part-time. About almost 50% are part-time workers. And the average salary of a part-time worker, guys, I shit you not, is only it's less than 3,000 yen a year, which means it's less than it's about $13,000 US a year. Yes. So let me bring up that other one for you. So that way you'll know what the average household income is. Let me see here. Make sure this is right. While I got you brothers here. So, okay. Just looking on my website here. Because I look it up. When I look this information up, I look it up in Japanese. I don't look it up in English because Japanese, they got the better deal. So, Okay, so I was wrong. So the average national income in Japan, a household. This is household income, guys. This is household income in Japan is Japan in 2022, and it didn't. The shit ain't changed much. Trust me. It was 5,242,000 yen. Okay, so they said this is based on the basic survey of national livelihood. This is what they're saying in Japanese. The numbers may vary depending on the year of the survey. Of course, we get that. The average income varies depending on the composition and age of the household, too. So it said the average, for example, the average income of working households as a whole in 2023 was 6,268,000. Now, let me go ahead and translate that into dollars because, as you know, the dollar right now is 154 yen to the buck. The yen is weakening against the dollar as we speak. The dollar is getting stronger, and already J.P. Morgan Chase is already given the forecast of 156 by the end of the year. And they're saying that next year, by the end of March, they were going to say it was going to be 142, but they said they're going to upgrade that yen to about 152 yen to the buck. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty strong for a while for the dollar. So, if I go ahead and put this money in, the 6,268,000 yen. I got my little money calculator here. And let's say this is 6 million. Europeaku niju rokuman. Europeaku niju rokuman. 800 yen. Okay. You know, I'm sorry. Europeaku niju rokuman 8,000 yen for a year. That and this is for working household. That equates to $40,531 a year in U.S. dollars. The average income for in my city where I live, give you an example, and go back here for a minute. A second, yes. It was way lower than that because I live in Georgia City. So this is you might as well say this is the average of all the cities outside the major metropolitan Tokyo. Let me give you the average household income for Tokyo real quick. Okay, well I got you. Let me give you the average household income for Tokyo. Okay, so give me a second here. Let's do this. I'm getting all kind of stuff on my phone because I have a Ring. I have cameras of 365 in my house, and alerts are going off because people walk by. We have a lot of foot traffic going by our house, so you get that. So what is this? I don't know why it's not showing up. Because I got one hand, that's what it is, and I can't get to the thing like I want. Here we go. Okay, so the average household income in Tokyo, they're saying, it's not that much from the national average. It's not that much from not that much more from national average, guys. So the national average in Tokyo, and I'm glad I'm doing this today with my phone because I got my camera with me. 6.3 million yen. So that's not much higher. That's only that's less than 100,000 yen more. So the average here you go, guys. So the average household income in Tokyo is 6,300,000 yen a year, right? So Ropyaku Sanjuman, okay? So that's $40,738. That's what it takes to live in Tokyo. Now, if I go and I put in my city, to give you an idea of what I'm talking about here, which keep in mind, my city that I live in is 178,000 people. So it's it's bigger than the city I'm in now. So you can imagine. Okay, let me go Kashiwazaki. Let me see if it'll pull it up. Because it might not necessarily be the same. Let me see if it's the same. Okay. So what they're telling me is, this is pretty low. It's about 400. It's about 4 million. So yeah, that's about the same, almost the same as Georgia where I live. So it's saying about 4,380,000. So the average household income in this very city that I'm walking in is 28,000 US dollars a year. So, you know, and that bracket falls in a 10% tax bracket. Okay, so they're taking out 10%. I know, I think that's a 20% tax bracket. But anyway, if you divide that 28,000 roughly, and what was I saying earlier? Divide that by 12. That's $2,333. What was I saying earlier, brothers? When I was telling you that you could get, with a family, you could live in this town nice on $2,500 a month. I said you can live in $1,000. That's if you're by yourself. But with a family, you can live here on $2,500 a month. See? So was I not lying? Was I not lying? And I just checked the numbers as we're talking. I just checked these numbers. So in my city, one more thing I want to tell you. So yeah, so the average for the part-time workers, which they said in my city of Georgia where I live, 33% make less than 3 million yen a year. 33%. 3 million yen a year, guys, is banana money. 3 million yen is basically only about $19,399. So, and those guys are in the 10% tax bracket. So they're snatching 10% of their pay every month, right? So they're bringing home less than that. And they might have a car payment, which is why they buy the little K cars that they drive around with. So, yeah. See? So, reason why I was really getting in these numbers the other day, because I was, people, when they walk by my house, man, they're always looking up like, wow, in awe. I see them on the camera sometimes, and I hear them talking like, oh my God, that house is so big, it's so nice, it's so this, it's so that. And I don't want to keep bringing this up, but I just the reason I'm bringing it up because that correlates with the type of lifestyle that they're living based on where we're living. They see that kind of life, and you see people actually wanting to be affiliated with that. So, you know, like I said, they're making that 33% of the people. So 1 out of every 3 people in my city are making less than 20,000 US dollars a year, working part-time with no benefits. See? So that's fucking crazy. See? I mean, no matter what, they got to fucking go to work. They want to live, they got to go to work. See? They got to get their ass out there and they got to hump it. See? And then the average working family is only making like, what did I say, $30,000 a year? See? So, and the average one in Tokyo, I said, was making around 40,000 something. So see, that's the average household, guys. So nationally, it's not that high. It's about 39. It's not that high, guys. See? Oh no, it's 48,000. It's nationally, it's 48,000. So, you know, so you can live here. Like I said, the most Americans I know that would be getting any kind of income, that would be wanting to live out of the States, will be making at least $2,500 a month. I mean, if you're just getting Social Security or something, you can be making something, right? You're not going to be making $1,000. You're going to be making maybe more than $1,000 just because you can't live on a bone in the States. $1,000 is a bone, right? So if you make 2.5 bones a month, you good in Japan. See? That's what I'm trying to say. So, like I said, the life here is good. I don't see anybody suffering. I don't see anybody, even my part-time guys, I don't see them suffering over here. You know, yeah, they may be having some issues, maybe making ends meet once in a while. But you see this guy right here working? He's making more than that. He's a full-time guy. So see, so that's what I'm saying. These construction guys are making money. So they're actually helping the average because they're saying that the average would be higher if it wasn't for the part-time workers. The average would be a little bit higher. See? But still, they've been making that kind of money since I was in Japan. It's just that when the yen when it's only 100 yen or it's 80 yen in a buck or 120 yen in a buck, and you look at that income, you're like, damn, that's pretty good money. Because when I was living in Japan before as an English teacher, I was making around 4 million yen a year when I was working. And at the time, that was about 40-something thousand dollars because the dollar was like 80 yen in a buck. See, and that was good fucking money at that back in '90s, mid-90s. 40,000 was no fucking joke. You know what I'm saying? But the problem in Japan is that they haven't gotten pay raises that much in years. their pay has not gone up. Because if their pay was going up on a regular basis, then their household income would probably be about $60,000 a month right now. I mean, a year right now, instead of the 48-something thousand it's at now. See, on a national average. So is that what I said? Let me go back again. I thought it was 40. Let me check that again. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. So let me see. Oh no, it's lower than that. But that was for working income. So let me charge back in here. So the working one. Yeah, I was right. That's about 40. It's not 48. It's 40,000. So Tokyo is mainly, in Tokyo itself, it's 40,738. So not 48, guys. I'm sorry. 40,000. 40,738 is the average household income in Tokyo. See, in my city of Joetsu, let me bring that up. Then I got this in play. And keep in mind, I'm doing this in Japanese because, you know, the Japanese information is more accurate. So they're telling me that my city of Joetsu is, yeah, they got this what I thought. Just a moment. You 1 minute, guys. I'm just reading this, reading the kanji here. So, because when I read it, I have to make sure that I'm going to translate it to you guys right. So we have an average annual income per household of 5.12 million. So it's a little bit higher than Kashiwazaki. They said that comparison with national average 9,000 yen lower, and then they're saying that the number of households by annual income class, the largest number of households with an annual income of less than 3 million yen accounts for 33%. That's pretty fucking low. That's pretty low, guys. So that's really low. So basically, in my city, they're making on average $5,120,000 as a household, which is $33,000. That's what it was the other day. I remember when I checked it. $33,000, guys. So, you know, you can live comfortable. Like I said, I was paying for a 1,300 square foot house in Joetsu City, which is a good fucking size, and a garage. I was only paying $400 a month. See? So, there you go. You see a nice house. See this house right here? It's a nice, good sized home in Kashiwazaki. And I bet you that's a mortgage. They probably didn't spend no more than, say, $150,000 for the house when they got it built. $150,000. And they got a carport and everything. See? So it's a nice new modern home. Look like it's no more than, like, say, 5 or 6 years old. See? So they built the homes here pretty well. And, you know, it depends on the specs that they use. I mean, it may not be as built as tough as they wanted it to, but they still build it. We're nice. See? So you can live here, guys. You can live here. You can live in the city like this. And you can raise your family here. And you don't have to worry about killing yourself just by paying your rent or whatever. Or going to get something to eat, or taking your kids out, have a good time on the weekends or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that apartment right there, see? That's a good sized apartment if you look at it. It looks like, just looking from here, it looks like at least it's a 2-bedroom apartment. And it's got nice little window lays on it. Got some nice verandas, which usually they just hang clothes on verandas, but still. It's a nice sized apartment, I can tell. And, you know, it may be, if you're lucky, it may be about 700, 800 square foot apartment. But in Kashiwazaki, you ain't paying, but like I said, $400 or $500 a month for it, if at best. You see? So guys, this is a good place to live. It's a good place to live. And some of you may not feel comfortable here because you really have to be in the Japanese culture. And that's why I highly recommend that if you don't have a Japanese spouse, then you should live in Tokyo somewhere, or just close to, or live in another city that's smaller with a lot of foreigners, because they're going to have all the accommodations you need. But I saw some foreigners walking around Kashiwazaki today. So we do have people here. We do have foreigners enjoy the city where I live. So, you know, you can live here. All you got to do is be willing to not care about all the amenities and shit that Tokyo has. Because you can't compare nothing to Tokyo. You really can't. You just can't. You really can't compare it to Tokyo. Because Tokyo has everything. I mean, you look at that, they have everything, guys. Tokyo has it all. They have it all. I mean, Sapporo has it all. Osaka has it all. Kobe has it all. You know, a lot of big cities like Fukuoka and you know, those places, they have it all. Nagasaki's a good place. But like I said, if you really want to save money, but you still want that big city feel, go to Kyushu. Nagasaki, Fukuoka, Oita, Kumamoto, Kagoshima, those are some good cities, but the challenge in Kagoshima is they got the big volcano right there, always active. They get a lot of earthquakes. They get those typhoons most of the time. Most of the time, Kyushu's going to get hit by typhoons. Fukuoka, to me, is the safest place to live in Kyushu. And as I come back up on the city, there's another angle of the city office in the back. So they're safer than a lot of places. Or you might want to live in, say, Tsukuba in Ibaraki Prefecture, or somewhere in Chiba if you want, or Saitama. Saitama's always a good, safe bet if you want to be out there. Takasaki and Gunma Prefecture is actually a really nice place to live, or Maebashi, because they're very close to Tokyo. They're basically at the beginning of the huge Kanto Plain, which is why you have all those people out there, because that's the biggest plain in the country. Tokyo, Ibaraki, Saitama, Gunma area, Chiba, Kanagawa, and Yokohama. So that's why you got a lot of people living out there, because of the plains, because people can live on that land. You know, even though, ironically, Tokyo was a swampland before everything started growing. And Tokyo had a lot of rivers back in the day, a lot of canals, a lot of rivers, but they've since built over that. See? So, and then they've also built over land that they reclaimed in the water. So, but the good thing about them is, but they're fucking good. So that's why they can do it. They were good. They built well. They had that big earthquake up in, we had the one big one we had up in 2011, and those buildings did not come down. In fact, I remember being in Tokyo in Shiodome on the 38th floor, and I got an alert on my phone. You're having an earthquake. We had a Shindo tour, and I didn't feel a fucking thing. And I was on the 38th floor in Shiodome, which is built over reclaimed land. See? So guys, the quality of living here is really good. The quality of life is good. It's a nice, peaceful day. I'm walking around here November 12th. Nice, peaceful afternoon. Shit, my wife's going to grab me. It's 3:19 in the afternoon. I'm getting ready to go back home. Probably going to take the surface roads because it's still daylight. I just want to see the scenery on the way back home. But it's just a beautiful day, guys. It's a beautiful place to live. You can really live a comfortable life. Look at this city office. I really like this modern architecture. It's nice and clean. They did a really good, smart job with the city office. It's a really nice looking place, you know. So you can live here and you can raise your family, especially if you got young kids. I know there's a gentleman that's going to be moving from Australia. He's going to have 4 children with him. I think he says he's going to be moving over to the Sendai. I'm not going to give the man's business out, but I know his name out. But I know he says he's going to be moving over toward the Sendai area where his wife is from. And that's what I'm saying. You want to move to where your wife is from. There's a lot of these beautiful cities from where your Japanese wife is from. Move there and just set up. Get to know the place and set up, because you are going to be so happy when you walk down the street and they know your wife and they know you. And like I always tell you guys, and you know me, I'm a black man. You already know that. I have never felt, and because Japanese don't treat themselves as privileged, but I've never felt equal, until I lived in Japan. And it's not just because I'm with my wife, but mostly it is because I get to feel what it feels like when you are in the majority, when you are with a person that is of the majority and that is in power. Japanese run Japan. Japanese are the majority in Japan. I am living with a woman that is Japanese. My children are also Japanese. So therefore, I get treated as a Japanese because I am a husband, which makes it even all the more interesting because I am the breadwinner. I am the one I'm the provider. And so here I am, the provider in Japan. And they know that, and they see me with my Japanese wife and my 2 children, and they look at me with respect because they're like, this man is taking care of his family. He is doing the thing that he did not walk away from his family. He's taking care of his family. He is doing well. And that's how it works. They look at me, and that's what's on their mind. And that's what is on their mind, guys. So, like I said, and me, I feel like I'm at the top of the food chain because my wife is Japanese and I'm living in Japan. I could never get that. The only way that I would ever have that feeling, and even if I lived in Africa, they still would not treat me as such because they treat me a little bit different because it's a tribal environment in Africa. I mean, granted, I would get a lot of respect from the brothers there, but I'm just saying that I would never really 100% be like all the way in. And even though I tried, so what I'm trying to say is that this is the only time, the closest time that I can ever feel like I am in part of the group of people that are running a country, if you will, or that are the majority of a country. White people get to feel like that all the time because they live in the States, they live in Europe. They can feel like that all the time. A German going down the street, he only knows the German's running the country. A white guy walk down the street in the States, he knows a white man is running the country, But me, the only way I would get to feel like that in the States, and even I wouldn't feel like I'm saying this good in Japan because in Japan they treat me better, and me as an individual. So even if I was married to a white woman in the States, and like a lot of brothers tend to think that just because they're married to a white girl that they are now on the top of the food chain. They're not at the top of the food chain because as soon as they walk out the house with the white woman, they're just another nigga to everybody else. See, I don't get that you a nigga look in Japan. See, yeah, I may be another gaijin to Japanese, but I'd rather somebody think of me as a foreigner and then think of me as a nigger. You know what I'm saying? And so, but still, within my local environment, because that's all you can go by on is your local environment. In my local environment, my local city, people know me. They recognize me, they know me, and they more than likely know that I'm providing for my family. I got a big home, and my wife is Japanese, and we're living well. They pretty much know by seeing me who and what I am. They know. See, yeah, this is the Performing Arts Center, Kashiwazaki Performing Arts Center. They call it Arufore. Kashiwazaki Arufore. Yeah. Yep. So that's what I'm saying. So they see that. So me, I feel that. And my wife is a very, very intelligent woman, college educated, comes from a good family. And like I said, half the land I own was in her family. So people see that and they're like, wow, this guy and this woman mean fucking business. They have 2 beautiful kids that they take very well of. My son's in Kumon, so we're paying for his after school study classes, see, which is not cheap. I checked, it's like well over $100 a month, And so, and in Japan, it's 16,500 yen a month for a Japanese family is not cheap. See, but it's so worth it. And so we're thinking about putting my daughter in the same type of thing, getting her head started on some things. She's going to preschool right now, but we're thinking about putting her in the Kumon next year so she can get a jump on other people because she's a smart little girl, too, like her brother. So they see that, they see my family, they see me and my wife, they see us, how we interact with each other. There's no disrespect from my wife toward me and me toward my wife whatsoever. We don't disrespect each other. You don't see us out there yelling at each other in the middle of the street. That's not what we do. We don't yell at each other in the house anyway. So we just don't do those kind of things. So they see that. They see how we run our families. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. when you, and I'm going to mention this on my live video when I get home, on the next subject I'll talk to you about, but I don't want to go into that too much. But what I do want to say is when you choose a mate, for those of you that are still single, you have to really be on your P's and Q's when you're choosing a mate in Japan. And the worst woman that you can choose is a woman that does not get along with her father. Because if she treats her father bad, she's going to treat you bad. So however she treats her daddy, that's how she's going to treat you. So when I was dating my wife, man, every other conversation we had was how much she loved her daddy. How good of a guy her daddy is. He's a Japan Air Self-Defense Force guy for 34 years. She was always talking about all the good times her and her parents have, but she never said one bad thing about her dad. Not one. Yeah, she got in an argument with him because they had a disagreement on how she was going to handle me, but that was just a disagreement between the daughter and the daddy. But she never said, she never came to me and said, I hate that fucker, or he sucks, I just want him out of my life. No, she never did. And her father get along great. So you really need to watch that relationship between your wife or your girlfriend at the time before you get married and her daddy, because the thing is if they treat the daddy bad, they may not treat you bad at first, but a few years later, they're going to be treating you just like they treat the daddy when they get comfortable, and they're going to be treating your son bad too. And what you don't need, and I'm going to have to use these words to hone in on what I'm saying here, what you don't need is a bitch treating your son bad, and she's supposed to be the mom. See, that's what I'm saying, guys. When you look at a woman, when you choose a mate, you have to look. Don't just look at the pussy, and don't just look at the sex is gonna be good, and she's cute, and she got a nice rump, and she got a rack. So fucking what? None of that shit lasts forever anyway. The rump's gonna drop, the tits are gonna drop. That shit's gonna, as soon as they get into like the late 20s, it starts going south. See? So you can't just sit up there and just value that over anything else. You can't do that, guys. You have to understand that you have to be serious. Guys, I can't be no serious in this before I shut this down here. I can't get no serious in this. You have to be very serious about how you choose your mate in Japan, because just like any other country, they got some bitches over here too. They do. And trust me, the worst relationship I've ever had, or the woman who treated me the worst out of all the weird ladies I've been with, was a Japanese bitch. And this bitch was from Nagasaki area, from Sasebo. And I'll say what happened. So I met her at a club in Hawaii, and I should have never hung out with this bitch. But before I finish, let me show you this. But see, look at those apartments right over there. See, those are nice. They got the nice little homes right there. I'm gonna walk along that way so you guys can see this, because I'm in the park right now. So you guys see that as I talk about this bitch. So, but what I'm trying to say is, so I met this girl in Hawaii. I should have never really been with her. I went to pick her ass up in Shiga Prefecture, brought her back to my place in Seattle. I just bought my place, she went with me, man. I got my Porsche and everything like that. And then, all we did the whole 2 weeks that she was in Seattle was fucking fight. That's all we did. And she was a bitch, a nasty bitch too. But then when I would get mad, because I didn't want to get mad at this girl, because, I just got out of a relationship. I was still kind of vulnerable, so that's probably why I let her in my life anyway. And so I just didn't want to be, myself yet. But I would let her get away with all kind of shit. And all she would do is just take more advantage of me. Just take advantage. Next thing you know, I had this bitch's mom and her daughter. I got them an apartment because we were going to get married. And I had her apartment and everything right around the corner from my condo in Seattle. And she was treating me like shit. She had 2 dogs. A fucking dog pissed on my fucking speakers, which I was not happy. The motherfucker bit me. And, and I was still kind of vulnerable, because if I wasn't, I would have bit that motherfucker back. I would have punched him upside his head. Because with a dog, you got to let that motherfucker know who's the master right away. And so he was trying to take over. And I should have kicked his head. That's a nice house right there, by the way, guys. I like that, where that house is. See? So, anyway, she would always talk bad about her dad because her mom and dad apparently had just gotten divorced about a few months earlier, not even a year. And so she was talking bad about her dad all the fucking time. And she started treating me like she treated her fucking dad, or like I was her dad. And so the moral of the story is, make sure a bitch is into her father. Because if she's not going to be good for you guys, I'm telling you. She's not going to be no good for you. She won't. She won't be no good for you. So, yeah, look at these. They got some nice homes over here, guys. Look at this. Look at this. This is in Kashiwazaki City. And that bridge over there is going to go over to Highway 8. I'm going to walk back toward my car through the park here because I love this walk. So, yeah, so anyway, guys, that's what I want to say. So, if you get the right woman, when, not if, fuck it, take away the if equation. When you get the right woman, like I got to mention this guy again. I saw his pictures on Instagram. This guy out of Australia was getting ready to have another child, getting ready to have his fourth child. And he got some beautiful babies. His wife is beautiful, and she looks happy. He looks happy, and they got some beautiful kids, man. And and we've already talked on. We've already left the voice messages for each other on IG, because I told him, I said, if you need any help, man, just let me know. I'm more than happy to give you some advice on your move to Japan, because it's not gonna be easy, brother. Trust me. I mean, you're gonna be comfortable with your wife, but you're gonna have all kind of shit you got to do at the city office. But they look happy, man, and she looks like a nice lady, and I bet you she gets along really well with her father, because you don't realize it, guys. The dad can do so much shit for you, and my father-in-law did a lot of things for us moving over here to Japan. He was like my father-in-law, man. He's retired, but it's like, and he just sits home on YouTube all day. But the minute I say, hey, Dad, I need this. Okay, what do you need? What do you need? Okay, I'm on it. He's like, the Japanese guys are like, I don't want to use this word, but Japanese guys are so good, man. They're good people. They're like dogs. It's like, they really are. They're so kind, man. They don't seem like it, but they're really fucking kind. Especially when they're connected to you. When they don't have nothing to do with you, they're a totally different story. But when they're connected to you, they're very kind. And my father-in-law, man, really, I'm just like, hey, Dad, I need this. All right, I'm on it. Or my wife's like, Daddy, I need this. Okay, I'm on it. What do you need? Like when I needed my COE, my certificate of eligibility, my dad was all over that shit. And I sent him all the paperwork, and he dropped it off at Niigata at the airport, and he signed the letter of guarantor because he was the only one in Japan that we could use. And next you know, it came back like a little bit over 3 months later, or less than 3 months later. And he was on it. He sent me a copy right away. I was able to print the copy out, take it over to the embassy. 1 week later, I had my fucking spouse visa. Yes. See? And that's what I'm saying. That's what dads do. But when your wife does not get along with her dad, it's going to take, you're going to get that conversation. She's going to be like, well, oh yeah, oh, I got to go to my daddy. Oh, no, it's going to take a long time. She's already fucking biting her nails over the fucking paperwork because her and her daddy don't get along. You don't want that shit. Brothers, you get a Japanese guy on your side, you got the shit made. And that's why I said I feel even like I really am on the top of the food chain over here, because my father's in my back. My father-in-law's in my back pocket. See? He's Japanese, and he's a respected Japanese man who got an award from the emperor for his service in the Japan Air Self-Defense Force. See? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. See? So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down, man. I really appreciate you guys watching the video. I know it's going to be kind of long today, but I really, really care about you guys. I wanted to get this information out. I want you guys to see I don't know, this little park is like one of my favorite parks, man. I just love it because when I'm here and with my family especially, I just feel so comfortable in this park, man. Any park in Japan. Because when I see that, I see the people with the babies and the peacefulness. I guess this is part of me when I was growing up in Philly, when I used to read those books and I used to see people in books walking around in parks all happy. This is what I envisioned, even though I didn't have that childhood. But this is what I always envisioned people doing. So I guess that's why I have an affiliation with these parks in Japan. So anyway, this is BSP. Thank you for watching, guys. I got to go get my Land Cruiser. She's over there parking, waiting for me. So I will talk to y'all later. Peace.